Good morning everyone. Let us go ahead with the chapter of state modeling. We have already completed the class model and advanced class model wherein we have seen what are the different UML notations we use for different object oriented concepts, right? In state modeling we will be seeing everything related to a state model. So let us begin with what does a state model, recap of what the state model actually does, because the three pillars, that is class, state and interaction model, we have already discussed in the introductory chapter where I have told you in detail what is the role of every model, right? So just to have a recap, state model describes the sequences of operations that occur in response to external stimuli, as opposed to what the operations do, what they operate on, or how they are implemented, right? So once our class model is ready, we know that the relationships between the classes are clear, right? So who depends on whom is clear. In the state model, all we got to know is the life history of the objects, right? That the sequence of operations that are occurring in response to external stimuli, right? So that is what you're going to deal with in the state model. Event is an occurrence at a point in time, such as a user depresses left button of flight 123 departs from Chicago, right? Some occurrence at a point of time, that is termed as event. Events often correspond to verbs in the past tense: power turned on, alarm set, or to the onset of some condition. Paper tray becomes empty, temperature becomes lower than freezing, right? So one hint that we could look into events is that they correspond to verbs in past tense. Events include error conditions as well as normal occurrences. So you know that even your error conditions that occur, right, like your motor jam, transaction aborted, and timeout are typical error events, right? These two are events, right? Only the interpretation makes them an error. So you can look at this sentence here. There's nothing different about an error event, only our interpretation makes it an error, but even error is an event. There are several kinds of events, right? The most common are the signal event, the change event, and the time event, right? So let us see what do we mean by signal event, what do we mean by change, and what do we mean by time event. So starting with signal event, we need to know what do you mean by a signal, right? A signal is an explicit one-way transmission of information from one object to another, right? So whatever signals, on a daily basis we even pass signals, right? Just say your friend is standing somewhere far away. Instead of screaming out the word hi, you just wave your hand, which means the signal that you have greeted the person. On the same lines, whatever you are trying to transmit, right? We're talking about that. It is different from a subroutine call that returns a value. An object sending a signal to another object may expect a reply, but the reply is a separate signal under the control of the second object, which may or may not choose to send it. Okay, now what is the meaning of this entire paragraph mentioned here? Just now I told you one of the ways to signal your friend is you wave your hand and say hi, right? But then expecting a response from the friend to say hi again, right? Like he waving his hand in response is completely dependent on your friend, right? If he wants to, he would wave it, otherwise he would not. So same thing happens in case of transmission here. So the meaning of this separate signal under the control of second object means the response depends on that object, whether it is going to reply or no, right? A signal event is the event of sending or receiving a signal. Here we have just spoken about signal. It's a one-way transmission. Signal event refers to, just now we saw what is event, right? So signal event is the event of sending or receiving a signal. So that event which happens at a point of time, the message that you send, right, that happens to be a signal event. Difference between signal and signal event, right? So to highlight that difference, a signal is a message between objects, while signal event is a occurrence and time, right? So this difference to be elaborated, right? So this is your example of signal event. Now what is the UML notation to represent a signal event, right? You have a keyword signal in gilmets, right? So these are called gilmets above the signal class name in top section of the box. So you can see this is termed as signal. So this is your class. These happen to be the attributes, and on top you have said that this is a signal classes and attributes, right? So signal is an explicit one-way transmission of information from one object to another. So you can see flight departure has all these attributes and it's signal class, right? So similarly, digit dialed, receiver lifted, string entered, mouse button pushed, right? So remember, UML for signal event is writing the word signal in gilmets above the class name. Coming to the change event. Change event is an event that is caused by the satisfaction of a Boolean expression. The intent of change event is that expression is continually tested. Whenever the expression changes from false to true, the event happens, right? So now, change event, Boolean expression, right? If it rains, I'm going to carry an umbrella, right? So if you're moving out of the house, you look for the weather condition. So if it is about to rain, you carry your umbrella or you don't take it, right? But there's nothing you can do about it once you go out of the house, right? Like you go out of the house and then it starts raining, so then you can't do anything about it. The only time you're going to check is before you get out of the house, right? So that's a change event. So your Boolean expression, if something like that, right? So of course, an implementation would not continuously check and change event, but it must often check so that it seems continuous from an application perspective, right? So in program, if you're checking for some particular condition to occur, right, it may so happen that it happens at a later point of time. But then there should be some regular events at timing at which you're checking the particular condition. The UML notation for change event is the keyword when followed by a parenthesized Boolean expression, right? So keyword is when. We are talking of a Boolean expression. So let us see the example on this. When room temperature is less than heating set point, when room temperature is greater than cooling set point, when battery power is less than lower limit, when tire pressure is less than minimum pressure. Right, so this is an example of change event. Right? So change event happens on the satisfaction of a Boolean expression. Time event, it is the event caused by the occurrence of an absolute time or the lapse of a time interval, right? So what happens here? A time event means again an event with respect to time, so elapse of a time interval. So your UML will be the keyword when followed by a parenthesized expression involving time. In case of change event, keyword is when only, but it follows a Boolean expression. In case of a time event, you have the keyword when, but it is followed by a parenthesized expression involving time. The notation for a time interval is the keyword after followed by a parenthesis expression, right, that evaluates time duration. So after is another keyword which is talking about the time. So look at this example here. When date equal to, so if you're talking of a particular date, you're using when. But if you're talking of some elapse of interval, then you're using the keyword after, right? So both the keywords are being used to denote the time event, right? So one important question from your external exam point of view from this chapter is, what do you mean by a state, right? And then what's an event, and then what are the different kinds of events, quite frequently asked. So you need to define all those things, you need to state the UML notations, you need to give these examples, right? So the three events that we have looked in so far are, yes, signal event, right? You have change event and you have time event, right? So those happen to be the events. Now let us look forward for states, right? A state is an abstraction of values and links of an object. Set of values and links are grouped together into a state according to the gross behavior of objects, right? For example, the state bank is either solvent or insolvent depending on whether an asset exceeds its liabilities. So state is, you're listening, right? That's your state now. So for a period of time, something that you're doing, you could be walking, you could be eating, you could be talking. So generally you would see the suffix of ing whenever you're talking of the states. You can see often corresponding to the verbs with the suffix of ing, waiting, dialing, or duration of some condition, powered, below freezing, so on, right? So UML notation for a state is a rounded box containing an optional state name. Our convention is to list the state name in boldface, center the name near the top of the box, and capitalize the first letter. So if you look at this, these are the different states. This is the UML notation, a rounded box, right? Inside that you're giving the name of the state. So this is how you represent a state. Event represents points in time. It represents intervals of time. State corresponds to the interval between two events received by the object. So you can look here. This power turned on, power turned off, power turned on. These are events, right? This entire interval, right? This is nothing but the state. So event is at a point of time, but state is for a period of time. That's how the difference you would find between event versus state. So state represents intervals of time. That is how you look at it, right? So for today's class, I have just discussed the introduction of state modeling, what all things you would have in this, right? We have discussed what is an event, we have discussed the several kinds of events, their UML notations, and we have discussed the states. What's the difference between an event and a state? So see that you both thoroughly. So this one important question in this slide you would find is, just now I told you event, state, and kinds of events, right? The next most important question is your state or diagram for a telephone line, right? Which I shall cover for my next class. So keep reading. Have a nice day. Thank you.